Welcome back to 4th grade Math Corner. This is Module 7, Lesson 3. Our learning target for today is, today I will create conversion tables for time to solve word problems. So we're going to continue with these conversion tables. Remember, that's changing from one unit to a smaller unit, from a larger unit to a smaller unit. We are going to be measuring time today. So some of the units that we will measure, some of the things we use to measure time are like seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, and then it increases from there. So we're going to talk about a few of those today. This first conversion table we're going to look at is moving from minutes to seconds. So if this was on an analog clock, this would be the big hand going around the clock. Every time it goes around the clock, it is 1 minute. It takes 60 seconds to move around the clock one time, or the second hand to move around the clock for 1 minute. I'm going to think about each minute increasing 60 seconds. So 1 minute would be 60, or 6 tens. The next minute would add 60, or I could skip count by 6 tens, so 6, 12, and they're 10, so 120 seconds. And then if I went, 120 plus 60 more, I could look at these tens and go 12 plus 6 is 18, and they're tens, so 180 seconds. And then I would increase by 60 each time. Since I'm adding 60 repeatedly, it is like multiplication. So all I'm doing is timesing the amount of minutes by 60 to get the seconds. So I'm going to think 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, and these are tens. So it would actually be 4 minutes would be 240 seconds, 5 minutes would be 300 seconds, 6 minutes would be 360 seconds, 7 minutes would be 420, and so on. It would keep increasing by 60. Those are going from minutes to seconds. The next conversion table, we're going to look at are hours to minutes. So hours are bigger than minutes. Every time the little hand goes around an analog clock, it takes an hour. And interestingly enough, there are 60 minutes in every hour. So there's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. So if I want to keep adding 60 to get more hours, it's repeatedly adding 60, which is repeated addition, and it's the same as multiplication. So the rule for converting hours to minutes is just timesing again by 60. It's going to look the exact same as the conversion table above. The only thing that's different is it is not 2 minutes equals 160 seconds. It is 2 hours equals 120 minutes. So then it would be 12, 18, or 180, 240, 5 hours would be 300 minutes, 6 hours would be 360 minutes, 7 hours would be 420. And really how I'm getting this is I'm going 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours times the 60. And we know that we're going to go 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 60 is 240, or 24 tens, and we got the same answer. Then I just keep going. 8 times 60 is 400. Whoops, I did that wrong. Whoops, sorry. I went 470 instead of 420. And then 8 times 60 is 480. 9 hours of 60 minutes is 540. 10 hours of 60 minutes is 600. And that's how we convert hours to minutes. Another unit of measurement that we're going to use is our days to hours. So we know that there are, in one day, the hour hand has to go around the clock 24 times for 24 hours. There's 24 hours in one day. So if I wanted to know how many were in 2 days, I would have to go, one day is 24 hours, another day is 24 hours, add them together, that would be 48. Or I could just repeatedly add 24, which is multiplication, and we're timesing or repeatedly adding 24. So I'm going to go 24 plus 24 was 48. If I do 24 hours of 3 days, I would say 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 20 is 60. That makes 72. So it's 72 hours. And I would continue to do that. 4 days is 96 hours. 5 days is 120 hours. 6 days is 144 hours. 7 days is 168 hours. 8 days is 192 hours. 9 days is 216 hours. 10 days is 240 hours. And I got those before making the video by just going the amount of days times the 24 hours in each day. Those are going to come in useful when you solve your word problems. So you can always come back to this video and pause it to look at the conversion tables. You will also be making your own conversion tables. You can try the rule, timesing it by how many are in each, or you can come back to the conversion tables. You're going to have problems that are word problems or just number problems. Another way that you could think about time is like a number line. So if you look, here's a number line from 0 to 12. It is just like taking the number line and wrapping it into a circle like a clock. This goes from 1 to 12 because this 12 is also our starting point. It's kind of like the 0 and the 12. So when we go around the clock, we start at the 12, but we end at the 12. So it's not like going 12, 1, 2, 3. That's not how we count. We say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be a whole day. You should have learned that each of these spaces is not 1. It is in hours, but in minutes it's not. So if I jump from this 0 to this 1, there's actually dots or marks in between. And you should know that between each of these is 5 minutes. So every time I jump the hour mark, each hour, it is actually 5 minutes between the large numbers. So it's the same over here on this number line. Between 0 and 1 is 5 minutes. Between 1 and 2 are 5 more minutes. Between 2 and 3 are 5 more minutes. Because if I jump all the way to 12, I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Same on the clock. That's one strategy you could use if the conversion tables and multiplication is not working for you. That might help. So if I wanted to convert, I have to look at what I'm changing from and what I'm changing to. So here I'm going from hours and minutes to just minutes. So my minutes are already converted to minutes. All I have to do is change my hours into minutes and put them together. So if I think how many minutes are in 1 hour, we already went and found that there were 60 minutes in each hour. And I could come up here and I could see 10 hours is 600 minutes. Or I could just go 10 times 60. And we already learned how to do this. And I like area models. That's my favorite. But if you don't like area models, you can use partial product. That's fine. 10 hours times 60 minutes. I see that there are 2 zeros, or I'm going 10 times 10, and it's hundreds. There's no tens and ones in hundreds. And then I'm going to go the 6 times the 1, and that's 6. So 10 hours is 600 minutes. but I'm putting it together with the 30 minutes that were already converted. So now I see that 10 hours and 30 minutes is 630 minutes. All I have to do is change them to make them the same. Kind of like fractions, we have to change them to make them the common denominator when we're adding or subtracting. So looking here, I have 6 minutes and 15 seconds, so I'm changing minutes and seconds to, and I look over here, seconds. These 15 seconds are already seconds, so I don't have to change them. What I do have to change are my minutes. I already learned that for each minute, there are 60 seconds, so I'm going to multiply. I see 1 0, so I'm going to put it here. Because they're tens, they're going to have no ones. And then I go 6 times 6, and I know that 6 times 6 is 36. So I have 360 seconds, but I'm not done. That's how much are in 6 minutes. I still have 15 seconds. So I'm going to go my 360 plus the 15 seconds, add them up, and I have 375 seconds. You're also going to be solving word problems. So we're going to have to find, what am I converting? It took a space shuttle 8 minutes 36 seconds to launch and reach outer space. How many seconds did it take? So I know that a space shuttle is shooting up into outer space, and they timed it from the time it launched to the time it reached outer space, and it took 8 minutes 36 seconds. I need to find out how many seconds did it take. Well, I already know it took 36 seconds, but now I need to change these 8 minutes to seconds. So I'm going to go 8 minutes, and I'm going to abbreviate it, MINS for minutes, 36 seconds, and I'm going to put SEC as seconds. And then I'm going to change these to blank seconds. So I need to know if I have 8 minutes and each minute has 60 seconds, how many am I going to have in those 8 minutes? I already know that I'm going to bring the 0 down to hold the place of the ones. 8 times 6 is 48, or I could go up to my conversion table. This is just faster than scrolling up and down for me. But I'm not done because I have 480 seconds and these 36 seconds. So I'm going to add them, put them together. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, regroup. 4 plus 1 is 5. 516 seconds. So it took 516 seconds for the space shuttle to reach outer space from launching. If you have any questions, please let your teacher know.